Well, friends, the day's come for us to dive into the practical section of this course where we start learning some different skills about growing in calm and dealing with worrying and anxious thoughts. But as we dive in today for our very first day, I just wanted to remind you just to be gentle with yourself as you learn new practices, and also to just be curious, because these things will be tricky at the start, like everything, and learning to be calm is as difficult as learning to play the violin. So it's going to be a little bit of a rocky road for us, and that's totally okay. I like to say if it's worth doing, it's worth doing badly at the beginning because anything worthwhile is worth doing badly so we can get better. You know, the road to awesome is always through terrible and average. So that's where we're going to start today. So today's practice is called dropping anchor, okay? And this covers off a particular worrying situation that you will be familiar with. And it's this one. You wake up at 2 in the morning and you're starting to think about some event in the future. Maybe it's an exam coming up, or an assignment that's due, or a work project that you've got to deliver on, or a conflict with a relationship, or some event in the future that has a sense of dread about it. And you time travel, right? You time travel into the future and try and solve that event at 2 in the morning, and pretty much always fail at that situation. But the anxiety that you feel around the time travel situation is actually a great reminder to you that you're functioning above your pay grade. You aren't designed as a human to time travel and change the future. It's not your domain to do, okay? So it reminds us to come back to the moment. So in the same way, we can time travel into the past, maybe a traumatic situation, an embarrassing event, something that happened at school, whether that was 5 minutes ago or 50 years ago, and relive that moment. So in the same way, the calm response is to come back to the moment. So let me read you a scripture today from Matthew chapter 6, when Jesus teaches us about how to deal with time travel. Okay, he says in Matthew 6:34, "Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." So our first practice that we're going to learn from Jesus in apprenticing in this whole calm situation is to learn to stay in today. Okay, so what do you do when you find yourself traveling into the future and worrying about some event? What I found is really helpful in that situation is to simply have a phrase that brings you back to the moment. It takes you back into your body and takes you back into the now. So for me, I experience those kind of time travel events as like a stormy kind of experience. So the phrase I like to use is peace, be still. Now, Jesus used that phrase to calm a storm in the Bible, so it's a phrase that for me represents a move to calm. So when I find myself at 2 a.m. way off into the future trying to solve the world's problems or my own problems in the future, I like to say to myself, peace, be still, come back to this moment. And then I recenter myself. Now in the daytime, that's very straightforward, because once I do that, I have work to focus on. Okay, I can come back, peace, be still in the moment, and then continue with whatever work I'm doing. In the night, it's a little trickier. And over the next couple of episodes, I've got a few different practices that I like to use in the nighttime when I wake that help me stay relaxed and calm once I come back to the moment, even though I don't have any tasks to work on. So we'll talk about both of those things over the next few episodes. But in the meantime, I'd love you to check out a little animation I've done on a YouTube channel called Dropping Anchor, which explains how this works in a little bit more detail. So check it out, and I'll see you next episode.